Hello everybody out there in the internet world, comic book community, as well as the YouTube community, and welcome to another Dark Avenger comic book review, talking about books that were released on September 5th, 2012. Mike's feeling better. I'm feeling good. There's a huge stack of books. We just came off of the live show about 3 hours ago. It took me another 2 hours to read those 5 books because a lot of stuff was going on in between that I had to take care of. Did notice on the live show we missed a couple of questions. Don't worry, we will get to them next time. Just remember, if we didn't answer your question, there was like 2 I believe we didn't answer.
Yeah.
Both those questions, please bring them to the next live show or bring them to Dark Avenger Inc. next week. And that's another thing. We are going to be live on Dark Avenger Inc. next Tuesday, not Dark Avenger, not this channel, the other Dark Avenger channel, for Avenger Cast number 2. Let's see. News-wise, you guys know about the 4 new teasers that came out last week from Marvel. Looking forward to seeing what those 4 teasers are for. 2 to 1 we'll find out before this week's over, definitely.
Yep. And also today we are...
ironically, today is memorizing or remembering 9/11.
Yeah. And we have the Twin Tower on top of the light, from what I showed on the live chat. And once again, our hearts go out to all who have lost their loved ones in this tragedy, and they're my favorite buildings.
We were here. We were here when it happened. I was in high school. He was in junior high school. It was
smoking.
That day will go down as one of those days I'll never forget as long as I live.
Favorite buildings next to the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
But 11 years.
Yes.
It's just from now on.
Also, part 2 of the 3-part video series I'm shooting. I did not shoot part 2 yet, but it will go up before this video. So, for those of you saying, Chris, what are you talking about? It's up. You put it up before this. I know it's up before this. It's meant to go up before the comic review. I haven't shot it yet, though, so they're being shot out of order. But part 2, I am shooting after this video, but it's going to go up before this video. So I'm shooting them out of order, but the part 2 is up by now, and it is about the from the beginning when I started on here, leading into up to this point where I'm at 148. And next week's, as you guys saw from the end of the last of that video, is going to be looking towards the future, my hopes, dreams, and where I plan on going with my channel as well as our Inc. channel from this point. So
and
don't
for
miss
150,
that.
it's a great occasion.
150,
do 3 parts of it.
150, there are a nice amount of books coming out. I'm praying that they come on time, but they've already been queued to be shipped and everything, so I'm praying everything goes well, and we'll have a wonderful 150th comic book review weekend celebration.
Alright, so let's get started.
First off, we have, remember this is September 5th, everybody, Garfield number 5, just throwing it out there. Lisa Moore does the color for this. She's an amazing colorist. She's back on her channel. Go check her out. I'm subscribed to her, and I would absolutely recommend you guys check her channel out. She's going to be doing a lot of stuff on her channel, and I'm looking forward to each and every piece of her video series, each and every one of them, each and every piece. I love reading her pieces, her coloring here. Granted, she didn't write nor draw it, but her coloring makes this book worthwhile. Without coloring, there's no book, unless you guys want black and white, which doesn't fit Garfield at all.
No.
So, this is a really fun book. Cindy will be reviewing this at some point on Dark Avenger Inc. I'm just throwing it out there for you guys that like Garfield. I love Garfield. I enjoy reading these once a month. Really, really great read. Every month gives me a nice little smile. Guilty pleasure. I have a few of them. And since I've been reviewing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles books, the Ultimate Collections, and the first skip, I believe, was issue 11-ish, I believe.
Yeah,
the first 10 issues, I believe, were all collected. I'm going to have Mike talk about the Color Classics issue 4. I'll show the artwork. You can talk about the book.
Yes. So, actually, he recommended that I read it, and...
I thought it would be a good idea.
No, it was a great idea, actually.
It's the foot.
Yes. So, basically, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are looking for Splinter, and they fight against the Foot, and they go to the... What was the office called? That place called again? Can't remember. The letters. It's before.
Before?
Yeah, like when they were battling the Foot. Like, there was I think it was an office or something. Like, basically, it was the place where Splinter was because they remember the past, TCRI. Yeah, so basically they're making plans to go there the night to see if Splinter's there, and April want to go with them.
It's also, I believe, where they became
Yeah, you're right. Thank you for pointing out. That's where they became the Ninja Turtles. April wanted to go with them, and they said no, it's too dangerous. So they go there, and they encounter the robots controlled by Krang. Is that how they're controlled by?
Yeah. Wait.
Krang?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Krang. And there's an amazing fight scene that happens, and every time they keep saying...
Krang.
The thing that made me laugh, though, is they always say, "For the Shredder!" You know, I thought that was pretty funny. So, basically, the Ninja Turtles, they go into this machine to, I guess, some way of helping out Spooner or something. Like it's like a time machine sort of thing. And, yeah, so they all enter, and Michelangelo is being stopped by the robots, and then he's like saying, "Wait, don't leave without me," as they're fading away. And it's to be continued with Michelangelo jumping with the other team, seeing if he makes it or not. But since if you guys read the black and white,
which I have, I already know what happens next.
Yeah, you'll probably know what happens next. But
it's fun reading this in color.
Yeah, like my brother says, definitely recommended. You guys should definitely be picking this up. Action-packed, amazing, great artwork, and yeah,
fun oldies.
Can't wait to read the next issue.
Next we have Transformers: Robots in Disguise number 9. Really, I don't care what's going on with Bumblebee anymore and Starscream, and it turns out that Ironhide is missing, and he finds out that there's something going on in the jungle that's causing people, most of the Transformers, to go up against each other and then unite as one, and go up against the one person that is not being controlled by the whatever this code is or whatever is going on. So it's basically Ironhide running from the Dinobots throughout most of the book, and also the time machine or the traveling spaceship, it disappears in this issue.
Great artwork.
Artwork is really good. I do like the artwork. There's only one other book that I really like the artwork a lot in, and that's a book that's coming up. So in the end, we find out what happened to the aerial bots as well, and it's not looking good once again for Ironhide. While back in the city, they're planning already to send a rescue team to Ironhide. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything else before I ride off into the sunset with this book. But book was very straightforward. There's a few conversations in between. Bumblebee's getting pissed off at Starscream about talking about the free election still, and Starscream actually asked Blur for help with the rescue team going for Ironhide, and that's basically it. The last page is a real doozy, and actually it's not the last page, but we find out what happens with the aerial bots, and I'll show that. This is a very nice splash page.
Very nice.
So we'll find out what happens next in next Robots in Disguise issue. However, there is, once again, this is like a, I would say, if I'm going to rate things by stars, I would definitely say, I don't rate things by stars. Usually I say I recommend it or I leave it up to you guys. Transformers is a good series in general. I like more than Meets the Eyes, more than Robots in Disguise. So I leave this up to you guys, but it's a really fun read. If you're a Transformers fan, definitely check it out. Not a fan of Bumblebee, though. I'm a fan of the Dinobots, though. So I am enjoying most of the story, minus the whole... there's like a lot of politics when it comes to Robots in Disguise with the free elections and running the city.
Also,
more than Meets the Eyes is more...
Corner.
That has nothing to do with Transformers.
Well, I'm just
more than Meets the Eyes is more out there and more related to the robots and not running a city. It's more action, more adventure. And the only thing that's better than that is this book. Transformers Regeneration One, issue 83. Once again, my only problem with this book is it references issue 78, 79, and 80 a lot, or certain instances, as well as now issue 50. I am giving you guys the hugest recommendation before getting into Regeneration 1, because this is only 2 or 3 issues in now. 3. Go back and get the special edition from IDW, the annual edition or whatever they called it, the special collection, which has issues 78 to 80 all together in one book. I am going to try my hardest on a very light week, which probably won't be next week's order because this week's order was light. It's probably going to be the last week of this month, and that's when I'm going to get it. And I know that there's an annual for Transformers Robots in Disguise coming out, so probably I won't be able to this week anyway. But I'm going to try my hardest to get that because when they reference it, it's like the death and rebirth of Optimus Prime is one of the biggest things that they reference a lot, and that happened apparently in those books, as well as Megatron and the Ark on Earth. So definitely get the special edition, or if you can afford it, issue 78 through 80 back in the 90s when they were around.
Absolutely.
But I hear they're pretty pricey because they were a really big series. Anyway, we find out who Spark Eater is. We find out how he came to be. That turns out his body had shut down, minus the heart. So Dr. I know I'm going to get slack for this because I'm not familiar with the Transformer world as much. I'm familiar with the animated series.
I think I just saw his name.
No, you did not, because it didn't show up here. Here we go. GB Blackrock.
Oh. Well, pages.
Military muscle.
Yes.
So, beginning of the book starts, and the Transformers, the Autobots want to know what's happened, how did this happen, and they're like, should we tell them? And Sparky's like, yeah, not Sparky there. It's, oh God. They realize who he is right away. They're like, you're Spike, and, he's like, no, I used to go by that. I used to be like Fort Maximus. Now I'm Circuit Smasher. Thank you. And he explains how people got greedy or bored or both, and they discovered the Ark, somehow woke up Megatron. Megatron went on a huge spree, ended up waking up or bringing back to life the dead Decepticons, and humanity lost. And the Autobots were nowhere. So they go to one of the last human strongholds, and they meet GB Blackrock, and he's like, I have one question, Autobots. Where's Optimus Prime? And it goes back to the Cybertron, and that's where Optimus Prime gets the message from Cup that Megatron forced him to send, and as well as Megatron showing up saying, where are you, Prime? Don't you want to see what I've done to your precious planet? You and I, we have unfinished business. And then I love when he's asked, I have armed assault squad on standby, just give the word. And Optimus Prime's like, the word is given. And they're leaving, they're going to Earth. And they're discussing back on Earth, the Wreckers who are left there, as well as the humans, are devising a plan to get, they have to figure out a way, and you also get how Circuit Smasher became Circuit Smasher and was changed from Fort Maximus or Spike to that. And they're devising a plan, and then Megatron sends out a message to the Wreckers, or the Autobots he calls them, and it turns out he gave Cup a Scraplet virus, and he wants them off the planet. He says, this is Decepticon territory now, come get your friend and get out of here. And right away Circuit Smasher knows it's a trap, and they know that, the Autobots know that, but they say since Megatron really wants Cup, you know, since the focus is on Cup and this trap, that means the Ark is basically left open, and that leads one of them into a plan. Then Optimus Prime leaves for Earth, however, leaving Cybertron with himself and all his strong, what do you call it, his stronger, what do they consider them, the, no, most decorated warriors. It leaves Cybertron open, and guess who might be coming back? Bludgeon. To be continued. I'm not going to say what he's looking for. You got to read the book. You got to read this book. If you guys are Transformer fans, you got to read this book. This is the gotta read. The other two stories are considered the in-time one. This is more along the lines of reliving from back in the 90s, you know, continuing that series. These are more the mainstream ones, but this series is really good, and I would definitely highly recommend you guys check this out. This is cover B. Once again, Midtown Files them randomly. This was my cover B of the week, I guess, because all my other covers are cover A's. So, really good. Can't wait to see Megatron and Optimus Prime finally go at it. Hopefully it'll happen in the next issue, but probably it won't. It'll probably take an issue or two more because comic books like to
what
do
issue is that?
83.
Maybe they'll wait till 85.
That's what I was thinking.
90.
85. I was thinking 85 or 90. Yeah, close to 90.
Yeah, 85.
Yeah.
Whichever way.
Lastly, and I believe the last part to the micro series for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue 8 of Fugitoid. His origin, how he came to be, and here's a spoiler for you guys. It turns out that Fugitoid is, I'm going to skip his origin. You've got to read the book. His origin is basically all of this. How he snuck onto Earth and became, oh god, what was his name? Chet Allen, who worked for StockGen. He basically made Splinter, and he worked with April. He was Dr. Honeycutt, I believe his name was. I can't remember.
I was saying the turtles drawn on that other page looked.
Yeah, he's a robot that can basically change forms, so to speak. Artwork in this book is really good, really, really good.
Yeah.
He's a scientist from an alien world who sticks his brain in a robot's body in order to save his people. It doesn't work out so well, and he's now also stuck in the robot's body. I'm trying to find his full name. And it turns out the stuttering is because he has a problem with his voice box. I believe it's Honeycutt. I know that's the last name. I don't know the first name.
Just call him Honeycutt then.
And he explains how he sides with the Shredder and the Foot to go against Krang because Krang's the one that killed his people. And that forces him now to be the Fugitoid, so to speak. And Krang actually goes to Stockman and tells him he's a fugitive android, Dr. Stockman. We've labeled him the Fugitoid. He's smart, wily, and violent, and he has information I need. So tell your freaks and thugs to be on the lookout. And little does Stockman know he's like basically right there with him. And that's basically it. It connects a little bit to what happened in the latest issues of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the past 2 or 3 months worth. But Fugitoid is definitely going to play a huge role, I believe, very soon in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle world. And then you get, of course, your sketches. And the reason I say this is the last issue is because I don't see any next time. No next
There's
time.
no more origin?
I don't believe so.
Maybe
I thought they would make a Shredder one and a Krang one, but apparently they're not.
Maybe
it's only the good guys.
Yeah.
It's only the good guys. So I believe issue 8 is where the series is done with. I believe it's only going to get 2 volumes then, 2 trade paperbacks worth. Really good. In whole, the micro series is an important and must read for anybody who's been collecting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line because it intertwined with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's been great artwork, save 1 or 2 issues. And the stories, however, all of them in general were really good as well. So I would definitely recommend you guys check out the entire micro series, if not in individual comic form, then in trade paperback form. It was a really fun series to read. Really good series. And now we go into the big 2 where the huge bulk of the week's comics come from. First off, we have Silk Spectre issue 3 of 4. It was an okay issue, not something that was like overly spectacular, so to speak. She's high most of the time in this issue. There is nudity in this issue, once again, go figure. Laurie's mother's trying to find her, and it turns out her boyfriend got overly sick on drugs. They put him in the hospital. She goes after the man who did it, and it turns out that
so far I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
she basically says she can't do anything per se, but she tells them who she is and she walks off. And the origin of her costume, I don't want to show nude stuff, so I'm looking for a picture where she actually breaks in her clothes, but I don't think we're going to get that. Well, the origin of her costume is like here. And then comedian comes in, as you guys saw from the live cast, and he tells her boyfriend basically to write this letter and leave her. and that's basically what he does. And also you get the origin of how the comedian got his happy face pin. It was actually Laurie's that he took. And he leaves. And that's basically it. Laurie wakes up, she gets the letter. Next issue is the final issue. It's an okay series. I would have dropped it if there was like 6 issues, but because there's only 1 left, I will finish it. It's okay. It's probably going to lead into conjoining with Dr. Manhattan when he gets together with Laurie. I'd say it's a up to you guys. Read the... You know, it's really getting bad how the Before Watchmen books, most of them are just kind of like flatlining. The only books that are really my enjoyment right now are Night Owl and Rorschach. Although Rorschach got his butt kicked bad.
Oh yeah.
He really got beaten up bad in the first issue. So you know he's not as strong or as powerful as you think he is, and to get beat up in your first issue of 4, that's kind of bad.
And sad too.
Yeah, and the Minutemen is really good. It's a 6 issue, and the Comedian's really good, and that's another 6 issue. The only one that's another 6 issue that I'm not getting is Ozymandias. I gave up. I don't care. It's not good. Whatever. If people are enjoying it, that's great. I'm not. That's the only issue I dropped. And that's the only issue I'm not getting. So, next up, before we get into the issue zeros, is Smallville issue number 5, which was really fun. You read it.
Yeah. Oh.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I just have like 2 complaints about this book. Like, it was a great
I want to
issue.
show some art, so go ahead, talk.
Yeah. The one complaint I have is like the artwork of Superman. They kind of
they're changing Tom Welling into Superman.
Yeah, like they're making him from the
transforming
Superman comic books rather than just Tom Welling's. You know, it's like his face morphs like every single panel or something.
It's okay because I understand what they're trying to do, but at the same time, yeah, it is annoying. And Bruce Wayne shows up, and Batman, and you know Bruce Wayne means Batman, and Nightwing turns out to be Barbara.
Yeah, I was looking, I'm like, Nightwing's a woman? Because when was Nightwing a woman? I was like, I didn't, because I don't read Batman comics. I used to, but not in the Nightwing era.
There's a Superman Lex Luthor moment, which is kind of, yeah.
Yeah, Batman kind of, well, I don't want to spoil the ending, but let's just say...
The ending wasn't a happy one for Batman and Superman.
Yeah, that's my second complaint about that. But all in all, it's a great issue. It's very adventurous, and... If you people have been reading Smallville, you should definitely pick up this issue.
I would absolutely recommend checking it out. I like the part with the boy in the train.
Yeah, that's
being held up, and Superman shows up and saves the day.
And if you mind the face morphing, then you'll be fine.
The artwork was pretty good for this. I'm sorry, the artwork was pretty good. I understand the face morphing a bit. I would definitely recommend you guys check this out. Smallville was a great DVD set. Mike's going to be doing a 10-week run of it very soon for Dark Avenger Inc.
Yep.
And this just continues the series, and it's continuing very well in my opinion. It's too bad it's not on TV, but I believe this would have been the year season 11 would have... No, it would have been going in season 12 now, because this year would have been season 12, because last year we didn't have Smallville.
Right.
So technically they took a year off, and they started season 11 a year late, but basically, yeah, we should be in year 12 of Smallville if it continued. Unfortunately, it didn't, and we're not going to see Superman on TV at least, I'd say, for another 2 or 3 years. Because I noticed between each series, Lois and Clark ended in 1993. We didn't get No, Lois and Clark ended in 1997. It started in 93. Yeah. It ended in 97, and we didn't get Smallville till 2001.
Right.
7, 8, 9, 2, 1. It's about 4 years. Right. So every 4 years there's something new. And before Lois and Clark... Gee, that was a while. That was a couple of years. So 4 years between those 2 sitcoms. Yeah, we'll see if we get something else. Superboy and Superboy was in the 80s. Yeah,
that was in the early to mid 80s.
Right, and then it was another 4 years until Lois and Clark, and then Smallville.
So give it another 4 years.
Around 4 years, 3 years, and we'll see if there'll be a new Superman series. And then don't forget also the animated series. Even though you think it doesn't count, it still does.
Right, with the Justice League.
So I would definitely say check this out. I hope to see a new Superman series on TV at some point. And I know we have 3 minutes left, so Mike, you do your book, and then we'll go into the zeros.
As quick as I can.
You have 3 minutes.
Alright. Green Arrow issue 0.
Kat didn't agree with what you were about to say.
Yes, but okay.
No, I was just saying. I didn't agree.
Yeah, but Green Arrow issue 0, I thought it was a great issue. It talks about the origin of Oliver Queen and how he became...
For 1 page.
for one page and how he became to be the Green Lantern.
But Cat said this all.
Green Arrow.
Green Lantern, huh?
That's because I remember reviewing the DVD recently. Ay. But basically, there's a helicopter attack from a villain, and in
the villain just looks so generic.
Yeah, it's called the Iron Eagle, and he's coming to attack and to get like oil. So basically, it was a robbery, and he's holding people hostage, such as I believe his girlfriend. He's been dating for 7 months now. Him and his friend Tommy help
Tommy
out.
the Green Ranger?
No, Tommy his friend. And I like the part where he puts on his sunglasses. Like, I thought, in my opinion, Chris.
You're giving it 5 stars for sunglasses, yes.
No, I'm not. Well, the artwork is pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying it's like as good as the past Green Arrow issues were, but yeah. Spoiler here, his friend Tommy does die after Green Arrow saves the day from Iron Eagle. And as months go by, he trains and he meets up with Roy Harper, who is the Red Arrow?
Arsenal he becomes.
Yeah, and he offers him to help him on a mission, and that he should join him because in the last page, I believe they go into the coma, and I think it looks like Tommy. And he awakens. And yeah, he says if he ever wakes, he's going to have a lot of questions. And it's to be continued, winner takes all, or take all in China. It was takes all, but yeah. And I like the history they give. I know they do in every issue 0, but I kind of thought that was cool. And yeah. Great origin story of Green Arrow. I can't wait for issue 13 where winner will take all in China, as the title says. Definitely pick it up. It's issue 0, great origin story, and I thought it was great in my opinion.
Alright, and with that we're going to end this part. We're going to go into the next part where I'll talk about the rest of the 0 issues. We'll do Marvel, and hopefully we won't go into a third part, but if we do, we do. There's a nice amount of books this week, that's probably why. Okay. Although there are a lot of Marvel books that I have only a couple of words for, and then I'm probably just going to put them down. Alright guys, so we'll see you in part 2 of this week's Dark Avenger comic book review, which is, unfortunately, once again, around the same time as last week, 2 days late. But, you know, times are busy and I've got a headache right now. I want to get through the rest of this, do the video, and I'm going to bed. See you guys in the next part.